This is a bucket of guppies that have outgrown the fry tank that are going to be sold eventually as soon as they mature. For some of them, once they get bigger and reach breeding age. So you're looking at a guppy pond, as they call it. And these guppies are starting to get their colors, but they still have a month to 2 months to go. But they'll be sold and they're already spoken for. It's slowly getting to the end of the guppy season, for selling them, because right now the demand is higher than the supply, so it's just like time to sit back. I made my little bit of cash. I might make a bit more, but it's not looking like there's going to be a huge guppy season, so this is it. Probably this and whatever is left of the fry. That's pretty much the last of the batch until next year. So I figured I'd shoot this video of the matures as a video diary to this. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'm gonna pause this for a sec so I can show you a bit of my process and explain it a bit. Okay, we start at this tank. Right now, this is the tank I start with. This is where it all begins, the breeding and everything. It started here. I got females in this tank, as you can see, in males. It starts here with these guys, the females. They start off with the males get them pregnant. Then sometimes I move them into these, which are little isolation breeding mesh nets. These mesh nets actually help to keep some fry free. I also have some baby Corridora in here that are for a customer that has bought them. They're baby peppered Corridora. And I have snails that help clean my aquarium too. These are little ram's horns as far as I know, and they're handy. They've actually done some pretty good jobs, I have no qualms about these guys. I don't recommend apple snails because I've had a really bad snail plague from them, but these guys I like. And I have my Corys. They also breed once in a while. I'm still trying to get a successful batch for these guys, which is the beautiful albinos. I've never actually had a batch yet of them. I've had a batch of pandas. I haven't even bred my Julies because I still got to get more numbers for them. I want to get their numbers up. But right now the biggest ones are these guys, the peppereds. They're pretty much the dominant breeder as far as I know right now. I haven't seen any of the albinos, and I'm dying to have a set of those guys, have them successfully hatch a breed, because their eggs are pretty good. I've had like 2 or 3 batches, but no real thing to write home about for them. It's sad, but eventually I'll probably have something to give and they'll have a batch. But after that, when I scoop out the babies, they go from there to about here. And this is the outgrow tank, my little 10-gallon that took a glass top from a previous aquarium that shattered and kind of more or less made it a little bit safer. Wouldn't say completely safe, but safe enough. You can't really make anything 100% safe. So I've done this one safe as safe can be, and this one is good to go. Kind of makes it easier, so to speak. So yeah, it's easier now for this because this tank is pretty much safe enough that it can actually be used, and safety enough for the fry. And this tank has many fry in it from many batches, and they're still just growing up and being raised. After they reach there, some of them will either go into here if I have a buyer that wants some that I want to mature And that's kind of like a guppy pond method that I just started trying to consider. During the summer months it's good, but winter months I would never try this. And then you got your other batch that go in here sometimes when it's not occupied. Like recently I took out most of my fry, and in here I have my little angelfish ripper that's eventually getting moved. And I have other baby Corridoras that are peppered. This is from the first batch at this place, because before this place I actually had them in a 50-gallon, some of my fish, and these are new fish in a new tank, and this one I love. He's an awesome little fella, and he's a male, and he needs to eventually get his mate, because I want to breed him. He's just a cutie. He doesn't bother anything. Just kind of tells him, you know, this is my spot, and I like this spot, you know. And he's a cutie. His name is Ripper. So Ripper basically is enjoying being out of this little guy, because I had guppies in there before, and Ripper does not like guppies and does not get along with them. He refuses to even socialize with them without having some serious issues. So I basically waited until I could get like the majority of my guppies sold and out of here, and then I took Ripper out of there and gave him a chance to spread his sea legs, you know, and enjoy the corries, because they get along, you know. He doesn't bother them, they don't bother him. They more or less just fly up for air and eat off the bottom, you know. They're pretty peaceful. And Ripper is pretty much doing his thing. And I just noticed another friggin' hiding stowaway. And I'm gonna try to get that stowaway before Ripper does, because Ripper does not like having stowaways in his tank now that it's his domain, and his domain is his strictly. So hold on a minute while I try to catch a stowaway. Well, I couldn't find all the guppies, but I found at least some that are castaways in with my angelfish. So if there are any free in here, chances are they're going to become angelfish food, because I can't contort myself. So I at least got some that are saved. But on the bright note, there wasn't many to begin with, so I got at least some saved. It's not a total kick in the shins. So at least there's some plants in there and a few babies, you know.